So we're just about to hit the halfway mark of the first full day at Bank Directors Acquire Be Acquired conference at the Arizona Biltmore. Sun's out, a lot of conversations taking place, and some unexpected statistics were shared with me this morning. So our first speaker was the CEO of KBW, Tom Michaud, and Tom asked the audience how many banks have eclipsed the $50 billion asset threshold since Dodd-Frank was introduced. He asked for a show of hands, and when we got under 5, he had nearly the entire room putting their hand up. In fact, there were only 2 since Dodd-Frank was introduced, and I thought that was a pretty unexpected yet interesting statistic. It also took me down a path to try to ask how many banks have been chartered since 2010. And there's been only 5 de novos that have come into the market since then. Now, I know that there's a few more lined up for 2018, but that's a surprisingly low number from the bottom to put pressure on M&A activity. So, with those thoughts in mind, here are 3 more things that stood out to me from this morning. The first is, we never talked about Venmo, let alone Zelle, 2 years ago. Last year, if I asked you who was this peer-to-peer payment company that was taking some market share from banks, not many knew who Venmo was. Yet we're talking about Zelle, the payment app killer that's coming to market right now, and people are nodding their heads with familiarity. I thought that was pretty interesting. We also really didn't talk about Bitcoin that much last year, maybe a little bit about blockchain, but the whole ICO craze that's taken over, that got some play earlier today as well. Again, surprising. Final thing is, I talked about deposits being a key theme for 2018 in a video I shared last night. Well, keep in mind that credit can be the torpedo to the balance sheet that is the counterparty to that main theme. So we're going to have a lot of different conversations this afternoon. I'm going to try to recap those later on tonight. We're sharing things on bankdirector.com. We've also got a very active social presence. We're at Bank Director, we're at FinexTech, and we're using the hashtag AOBA18 on Twitter.